After seeing that performance today, I don't know if Barcelona can aspire to anything this season. There are reasons today, and we're going to talk about all of them. There are reasons today why I see this Barcelona not amounting to anything in Champions League, and then there are reasons why I saw today that maybe we can. A lot of different reasons. Some of them are concrete based on statistics, and some of them are based completely on the universe. And let's get into all that stuff. Before we do, though, guys, if you like this content, even if you don't like it, give me a like. It doesn't hurt. Just tap that like button just to see if you guys are even watching the video this long, which is like about 30 seconds at this point, I would say. No, about a minute. Yeah. So let me know, guys. Let me know what you think. But reasons today why I think Barcelona can win and reasons why I think they cannot win. Number one, today's defense was so bad. 2 goals off corner kicks. One of them is an own goal. Another one is a double head, like 2 headers in the box. We can't give up goals like that, man. At the 10th minute, we were dominating the first 10 minutes of the game. Then they get a corner kick and they score. And it's like, dude, how can we even compete against, let's just say, for example, we get tied up against Arsenal. Arsenal this season has so many goals off of corner kicks, off of set pieces. Their set piece coach is among the best in Europe right now. How can we confidently say if we go against a team like Arsenal that we'll be able to beat them? We won't be able to defend enough to not concede in corner kicks and free kicks. Like, we got to fix that, man. Something's got to happen that's got to fix the whole defensive issue right now. Barca is suffering way too much on defense, and it's every game. It's every game. It's against bad rivals. It's against good rivals. It's against the best teams. It's against the worst teams. This team hadn't played for 3 weeks. They've been on off season. They have only scored 2 goals in the entire Champions League this season, and they scored 2 more goals today against Barcelona. Now, if you tell me you get 2 goals scored on you by Juventus, by Real Madrid, by PSG, okay, fine. But dude, a team that has been struggling to score, I think the statistic was in their last 5 games in the Champions League, they had not scored 1 goal. In 5 games. They end up playing against Barcelona and they get 2 goals. It's crazy. It's crazy. We need something. Something's got to give. Like, I don't know. Now, with that being said, there were positives on the defense. First of all, Araujo came back. He played the last 5 or 10 minutes. We'll check it out now. There was something about Araujo today that I was almost relieved to have him there. Now, if you asked me about the Super Cup final, when they put him in, I was like, oh no, here we go. I was so nervous. Today, for some reason, there was an energy about Ronald Araujo that I'm like, dude, I feel safer with him. Maybe because Slavia was a super physical team. Maybe it was because they were tall, they were good in the air. Maybe it was the hunger to close out this game. But something about Araujo today was so good, and that gives me a little bit of hope that we can start improving a little bit. Now, on the other side, a negative today was Pedri, injured again. Pulled hamstring. It's a new injury. It's not a reoccurring one. He's had these type of injuries before, but in the press conference today, Hansi Flick said that this is a brand new thing. I don't know if it was Hansi Flick. It might have been, actually, I think it was Fabrizio Romano said it's a brand new thing. It has nothing to do with a relapse of an old injury. It's a brand new injury. Hansi Flick in the press conference said it's not looking good. It's not good news that we're going to receive tomorrow. And, Pedri is literally the most important player on the midfield and top 3 most important players on our team. And without him, we struggle to have rhythm in the midfield. We struggle to hold possession. Even though today he wasn't at his best, it was tough, man. And it's going to be tough without him. especially now we're 1 point behind Real Madrid, or we're 1 point ahead of Real Madrid. They're starting to pick up form. It's going to be tough. It's at this moment right now that I'm like, if you tell me we win nothing this season, or if we just win Copa del Rey, I'll believe you. I don't know. There's I have a bad feeling. But anyway, let's go here. Okay, let's look at the lineups. So let's talk about the players, player for player. Joan Garcia got 2 goals scored on him. They were corner kicks. It was complicated. That first one, kind of like the player runs into the ball and then kind of runs into the goal with the ball in between his legs at his feet. Super weird goal. Not much Joan Garcia could have done. The second goal was the close post. Look, the player's got to be marked, right? The player hits it. It bounces off Lewandowski's back, and it goes into goal. So not much Joan Garcia could do. Besides that, there was one shot, almost a 1v1, kind of on the side. Pretty much coming from here. There's a shot here. He had a clear strike, that player. I'm not sure if it was Chari or Provad. I'm not sure exactly. But one of their players had just a clear shot, angled shot, and Joan saves it. Really, really fast shot too. A low strike, and he got it. And I remember that and maybe one other one that I can recall, but basically not much else Joan Garcia could have done. Conde today, struggling again. There were times where he was not really connecting well with Bargy. Bargy, not the best game from Bargy. I feel like we were missing Lamine Yamal. Of course, he had a red card. That's why he didn't play today. We'll get him back for the last game. Frankie had a great game. Frankie had an assist, but I think we might be missing Frankie de Jong. I think he accumulated 5 yellow cards, so we're going to be missing him the next Champions League game. That's going to be tough, but he had a good game. Pedri with another assist, but unfortunately leaves injured. I think we're looking at weeks for Pedri. I would say, if I had to guess right now, because I'm not sure how grave it was, but I'd say about 3 weeks that we're going to be missing Pedri. That's about 6, could be up to 7 games. Rafinha, not much from Rafinha. He was making runs to try to start an attack, but it was really quiet from him. Who it wasn't quiet from, Fermin Lopez. We got to talk about Fermin Lopez. I'm so glad we didn't sell him. I'm so glad that Hansi Flick has realized that he's the starting number 10 on the team. He's not scared to attack, which is great. It's something that we were missing for a while. Rafinha is that type of player who's not scared to take shots, but Fermin is also not scared to take shots from that center position. He moves a lot. He's good in possession. He's aggressive in recovering on the press. Just overall, Fermin Lopez is one of the greatest discoveries from La Masia in a very long time. Pedri's technically not a La Masia player, so I don't count him. Lamine Yamal is obviously one of those players that we got out La Masia, and it's incredible. Cubarsí is another one. Although Cubarsí, it's hard to notice because he's a defender, but we're gonna see in the future how important Cubarsí is gonna be to this team. But Fermin, man, to pull that out of your academy, it's awesome. It's the best. Lewandowski had the own goal, but he also had what was it? It was the last goal. Assist from Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford came into this game great. I already said it a million times. Marcus Rashford in Champions League. Marcus Rashford outside of Spain is a different story. And that's the reason why I think Barcelona is keen on keeping him. And I don't blame them, because to have a player like that shows up in European nights, that's very, very important. Eric Garcia, solid. Gerard Martin, solid. Balde also kind of, it's what I said in my earlier videos. We need more players at the fullback position to compete against Conde and Balde, because I think it's either their complacency or they're tired or it's fatigue or whatever it is. But when they're not on, we don't have an alternative. Now we got Joao Cancelo. Obviously, he can't play this game because he came in the January transfer market. Those transfers aren't able to play until the playoffs. So, league phase, we can't add anybody. So, for now, it's Conde and Balde. But Maybe in La Liga it'll be a different story. Uh, maybe in La Liga we could start using Cancelo a lot more, but we need guys there. We absolutely need guys there. Let's look at the subs really quick. Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo came in just to do one thing. To remind everybody that had criticized him during the Real Sociedad game. I don't know if you remember. I defended him. I said he had a great game. He had to be there to miss those shots. He had to be there to take those shots. Yeah, he didn't make any goals, but I know the value that Dani Olmo has. And today, Dani Olmo came in and scored a banger. An absolute banger. And then not only that, he came in not for the 10 position for Fermin, although he did end up going there when Fermin got subbed out. But originally, he came in to sub out for Pedri. He played in the double 6 position or the double 8 position, whatever you want to call it. And he did it extremely well. Now, if you recall, during the Euros that Spain ends up winning, Pedri in the middle of the tournament gets injured. You know who replaces him? Is Dani Olmo. And that is partly the reason why Barcelona goes and ends up trying to transfer in Dani Olmo alongside Nico Williams. When Nico Williams doesn't work out, they bring in Olmo. But it was because Olmo can replace Pedri. In this lineup, Pedri plays in the double 6 or the double 8, whatever you want to call it again. Dani Olmo could play there. In the Spanish national team, Pedri had more of a 10 role because you had, I think it was the guy that I can't remember his name right now from PSG alongside Rodri. It was Rodri and this guy. I can't remember his name right now. It'll come. And then Pedri would play at the 10. So he would replace Pedri at the 10 position. The thing is, he can replace Pedri at the 6/8 position in Hansi Flick's scheme. And I think he did it exceptionally well. I think if Hansi Flick saw anything today, is that maybe with Dani Olmo, we might not miss Pedri so much. And I'm hoping. I'm hoping because we end up missing Pedri way too much most of the time. Marcus Rashford came in. Amazing. He got the assist for the 4-2. Ronald Araujo came in. Played the last 12 minutes. I think it was solid from Araujo. And then Bernal also came in. Not much from Bernal. He kind of had to close out the game. And pretty good, dude. Now, what I told you guys yesterday, what we were going to check out is the table. And this is another reason. This is a reason why I think we have a chance to win things in the Champions League this season. This might be this is kind of dumb, but this is me and my fandom and my this is me being extremely unrealistic right now. But Barcelona started off today, I think we were in like 19th position. We needed so many results to go our way. So many, besides getting the win today, which we almost didn't get. Which we struggled to get. But we needed so many other results to happen today, and most of them happened. Let's look at it. First of all, the teams under us. Ready? City lost against Bodo Glimt. We needed them to lose. Who would have thought, if you would have told me City, Bodo Glimt, who's going to win? I would have told you City wins. Absolutely, of course. They lost. We needed that to happen. Another team that lost, Atleti, dropped points in a 1-1 draw. We needed that to happen against Galatasaray. Atalanta, we needed them to lose. And they lost. They lost against Athletic Club. If you told me Athletic Club was going to win an away game in Champions League, I would have called you crazy. And it happened. Incredible. So, Atalanta drops points. Inter dropped points against Arsenal. Juventus, I think they won, right? Yeah, Juve won 2-0 against Benfica. Who else? Dortmund dropped points against Tottenham. Now, this has nothing to do with Barcelona. Really quick, I just want to appreciate, because Tottenham's a disaster in the Premier League. They're top 5 in the Champions League group stage. Arsenal at number 1. I think they're undefeated, 7-0. That's crazy as hell. Bayern Munich 6-1, only having lost to Arsenal. Real Madrid has lost 2 games, but they have 5 wins. Liverpool 5-2 also. Tottenham 4-2-1, so they have 2 draws and a loss. They have 4 wins. That's who we're going to be competing, because Barca has 13 points, 14. We're competing with basically from 3 all the way to, because we need to win, right? Let's say we got 16. So we are competing against Real Madrid, Liverpool, all the way to anybody else who could get 16, up to here. So from 3 to 13th, we're competing with 10 teams to get that top 8 position. That's going to be tough. We got to do it. Who do we play next? Copenhagen at home. We got to win that game. We have to win that game, and we have to hope for crazy results. Newcastle could be the one. Newcastle PSG. This could be a game where one of them drops points. Benfica, Real Madrid. I don't see Real Madrid losing, although Benfica is like one of those complicating teams, but I don't see them losing. Chelsea, Napoli. That could be a team that drops. So if just one of these 3, PSG, Newcastle, Chelsea, drops points, and Barca gets the win, obviously, Barca ends up being top 8, avoiding the first round of the playoffs, which is huge because we need the rest. Like our players are falling apart all over the place. We need the rest. So that's huge. That would be super huge. I have faith. And then if we avoid that round, who says we can't win 3 series in a row and make it to the final? Something we weren't able to do last season. But I think this season we could do it. Who do we play? We played Benfica, then we played Dortmund, then we played Inter. We lost to Inter, and then that was the final. So if we make it top 8, we only have 3 rounds. If we don't make it top 8, we have to play 4 rounds in the Champions League. And Barcelona, man, I'm a huge fan of Barca. But I'm going to tell you right now, Barca, they're such choke artists in Champions League, dude. It's so crazy. Like, we overvalue our football and the fact that we compete in all tournaments because that's what big teams are supposed to do. And meanwhile, Real Madrid kind of doesn't care about any other tournament. In Real Madrid, in Champions League, they show up, and that's why they have 15 of them. Sometimes I wish Barca was kind of like that, but at the same time, there's a reason why Real Madrid doesn't have a treble, and why Barcelona does, why Bayern does, why PSG does, why City sorta does as well. Not sorta. I think City has it. Man U has it as well. It's because when you're a big team, you fight for everything. I think Real Madrid just has really good PR and says, we won the most Champions League, so we got to be the best. But, oftentimes when they win those Champions Leagues, they don't win much else. With the exception of sometimes maybe a Copa del Rey or maybe a league. But most of the time, they split the domestic trophies with Barcelona or with Atleti. So anyway, guys, that's that. I hope this was of value to you, this little analysis. I think we will make it top 8, but I think without Pedri, it's going to be tough. What's Barcelona's next few fixtures? Let's look at it. This weekend, Oviedo. That's funny. I saw a guy driving around with a Oviedo sticker today. That means we might lose that game. I don't know. We play at home to Oviedo, and then midweek, same thing. Midweek, we play against Copenhagen. We'll be without Pedri for these 2 games. And then a few days later, Elche, away to Elche. Albacete for Copa del Rey. Okay, so our next 4 games. Must win in La Liga, obviously, but we'll probably win this. We should win this. We have to win this, must win. We should win this, Elche, even though we'll be away. And then Albacete. And this was the problem, man. We got to play away in their stadium, where they have smaller fields. It's different. That's going to be tough. But I think we should win this. But look, man, just back-to-back games, dude. La Liga, 3 days later, Champions League. 3 days later, La Liga. 3 days later, Copa del Rey, which is something Real Madrid is going to completely avoid. That's the tough part. Then we'll have 5 days. Okay, we'll have 5 days rest before Mallorca, which is a huge game. And then we meet up with Ter Stegen in Girona. That's going to be interesting. But right there, we have about 7 days. That's good. So we'll have some rest up to here. This is the Hell Week ends right here at Albacete. That's where Hell Week ends. Or Hell that hell stretch. These 4 games are 3 days apart from each other. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'll catch you on the next one. Again, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.